Past still pink in the sunset. You know I never wanna make you upset. How did I become so obsessed with this?
Howdy. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to install Bloons Tower Defense 6 on Linux using Steam and Valve's Proton. Surprisingly, there are actually not that many requirements to get this running. First, you just really need to have everything up to date, you know, your graphics drivers, all that kind of stuff. And then you need Steam, and that's about it. Well, you could technically do this through Loot Choice. I'm just going to do this through Steam because it's a lot easier that way. And I'm pretty sure if you're playing Bloons Tower Defense 6, you're probably going to be using Steam anyway. And at the end of the video, I'll teach you how to bypass or work around a bug with the Proton or running Bloons Tower Defense 6 under Proton. So the timestamp should pop up on screen. And if you don't want to skip to that right now, that's all good, because now we're going to continue. Okay, so now I'm recording this live. This is actually the second time I'm recording this, because the first time it rained. And in that same time, it didn't pick up my audio input because I was messing around with my mic a bit to kind of get rid of any background noise because of the rain. And yeah, it just screwed something up and you could only, see everything. I don't even think my desktop audio worked, but I guess that's also fixed. So let's get a general idea of my system here. I'm running Artix Linux. It's an Arch-based distribution, but gets rid of systemd. Instead of systemd, it uses OpenRC, or there are other choices too, like run it in S6, but that's not important right now. So one thing you definitely need is Steam and I guess a window manager or a desktop environment so that you can actually see something. And you want to go to your Bloons Tower Defense 6 in your library. Now, it already says I have it installed, but everything is pretty self-explanatory, and even though I have it installed, I can still show you how to do it. So first, you would open up Steam, and then you would go to Bloons TD6 in your Steam library, right? And then up over to the right here, you will see a gear icon, and it's called Manage. And then you want to click on that, and you want to go to Property. And you get all of this stuff, right? We're going to ignore all of this, and we're going to go to Compatibility. Now, this is definitely going to be unchecked, so you want to check that right here. And then once you check that, this will not be a grayed out option anymore. It might be a different name, but this is grayed out unless you check this. And then once you check this is not grayed out. And then you can select it, right? And Proton is a version of Wine, and Wine is compatibility layer that translates Windows API calls to calls that Linux can understand, right? And that's what we're going to be doing here. Proton is Valve's fork of Wine, and we're going to be using that since it's extremely easy to manage in Steam, obviously, because Steam is owned by Valve. So right now, I know for sure that 6.3-7 works. You can toy around with the other Proton versions, or you can use Proton Experimental. But it doesn't really matter unless another version comes along that is better and fixes an issue that I'm about to go into detail right now about. And one of the cool things about Steam is that you can have multiple of these versions right here. You can have them for different games. So for example, for Bloons Tower Defense 6, I can have this version, but let's say for another game, I don't know which one, maybe... I'm not going to give an example, but let's just throw it out there. One Proton version doesn't work. Maybe a later Proton version doesn't work. Or maybe an earlier one doesn't work, you know. I would just change the Proton version, change it to a Proton version that might work. And then yeah, we're done. But that's about Steam and not Bloons Tower Defense 6. So now you would be all set to play, and all that stuff. So now let's hit play. Processing Vulkan shaders, it's gonna do that. I'm not sure if it requires Vulkan, because I know it can definitely still translate things to OpenGL, but it's translating things to Vulkan for me. That's the rendering API it's using. So now I'm gonna hit start, right? And everything's running smoothly, 144 frames per second. I can see that because that's the refresh rate of my monitor, all that stuff. Everything works just fine. And let's see. Yeah, everything's all good, seems. And we can do everything we can here. Play social, monkey knowledge, monkeys, play an actual game. There's a bit of stuttering there, but I don't think anybody really cares. But there's an issue, right? Now, this right here doesn't work 100%. Now, if I click on it, requires internet connection 101, right? But as you guys saw, I do have an internet connection, right? So let's quit the game, but there is a way to fix that, or at least get around that. Yeah, more accurately get around it. You're not really fixing the issue, you're just finding a different way to do what you would normally do. Let's hit play again, and it's gonna start up faster this time because all Vulkan shaders and stuff were already processed, so it's just gonna take that what was cached and just put it right here. And instead of clicking start, you would go up here and then click the icon here saying that you've played before, and then you'll get a bunch of options to sync things up to your Steam account, to your email, to maybe another device that you've played the game on but you want to sync it on to this laptop or PC. And I can't show you this because I've already synced it up with my Steam. However, I think you get the idea, and it's going to be pretty self-explanatory once you get there. But outside of that, my guide is completely done, so I hope you have lots of fun playing Bloons Tower Defense 6 on Linux. And I hope the tutorial and the workaround part was helpful to you, and yeah, goodbye.